It is just gone 12 midnight Eastern Daylight Time in New York. It is 6 a.m. Eastern European Time in Gaza. It is 6 a.m. Central African Time in Babane in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Kusile Breakfast Show. We are coming to you live from our Hospital Hill Studios in Babane. I am Linton Kule. Many thanks for joining us. It is, of course, Tuesday, the 19th of March 2024. It is day number 79. Siselele bongo singamalanga lang 289 uphele kumnyaka lo setulo. I am Linton Kule. Many thanks for joining us.
No, Peter Linton. I'm actually very excited by our program today. I'm just thinking about it, the contents that we're going to cover. You know, some of the things that are advancing the economic development of Eswatini. In fact, over the period of the next 5 years, particularly from a government's point of view, particularly whether economically and otherwise, tourism even sustainable, tourism you know, in the previous years, and there's a big opportunity unearthed. But another interesting story is about trade, and I believe LinkedIn let us trade.
Stabe stekabongo sinzaba live belibambeke kwesithathu ma Eswatini Annual Exporter Awards ngumsebenzi ke lapho inkampani yashukela Eswatini Sugar Association ihlabene ke nanayo stabe ke sinabo lapha ka 7 baka IPA sibuka nje kumcoka bale misebenzi leyo ne ukuthi ngabe live lentanjani vele kwenta siqiniseko seye ukuthi we maximize the opportunities la khona kuleto divumelwano yakuba lo live linaso sivumelwano nekubambisana neTaiwan sikhona naka AGOA sekhona ke neAfrica Free Continental Trade Area lokuthi senda njani kwenyusa lizinga lemkhiqido kuleto market leto nizaba le start ibuka ke bongosi ngale kwensimbi yesikhombisa namhla ekseni.
Ngizokhumbula ukuthi around the 22nd of February, International Labour Organization belapha ekhaya ifundisa mayelana nayo imithetho yokuthi employees kufuneka abe nenhlalakahle as mandated by yona i-International Labour Law Organization. Siyajabula ukuthi nathi lapha ekhaya kangwane sinabo bakasimak laba bukete nje ukuthi noma angajika ayilo athubiyela emaveni lapho aqhamuka khona lapha ekhaya yachubeka imithetho iyastrengthenishwa nokuthi nje ema work bodies tonke nje inhlangano letikhona letinkampani letikhona lapho khona nje kune employee nangabe ucashiwe uyasebenza unemalungelo akho lekufuna ukuthi ahlale abukiwe. They will have their annual labor law seminar inzaba lenkulu ke bathi sicubulo enhancing harmony in the workplace. They will have it on the 21st up to the 22nd of inyanga yaMarch. Kusho ukuthi ngilo lona leli iviki leli siyafuna ukuyikhulumisa ke leyo nzaba leyo na executive director wakhona kaSimak lomkhosi Makagula nyalo nje nga 6:30. It's going to be an interesting one. Dasivula ingqondo ngalokunengi, particularly because the majority of the population sima employees. So you do essentially want to know malungelo akho usasebenza ungakhanisa unyatheleka emsebenzini bo exploitation into tonke letikhona leto manje sichaza kabanti na executive director kwanyala ke sibuke ihloko lethamba embili maphephandzabeni elive.
Okay, sijaqala ke bongo sibuke probably the Times of Eswatini ukuthi ngiphi inzaba lebagijima nayo bathi ke bantwana lababili basishile ke emhlabeni kulandzela sibandle eMars labekane Master 900 pesticides deliberately mixed with sour milk by children's uncle to eliminate miss. Kuthiwa ke ngumalume wabo lo le yavele ke bekathi ufuna kubulala emagundwane inhlanhla lembike lasela masekadlo lababana. Grandmother unknowingly gives bowl to kids age 2 and 5. So ke gogo bekangathi ukuthi lamasi anale master nendoda nika ke labantwana munye uneminyaka lemibili munye ke uneminyaka lesihlanu. Amaphoyisa ke amgcinile malume. Nasibuka ke sibona na ithombe ke ingonyama emhlaba isitolo bekathe ke iyawubuka King Cut Sword for new army base umsebenzi ke lo tawendiwa le industry la kune National kuthiwa National Big 5 National Park, yeah. Big 5 National Park kwakhiwa ke inkambu yemasotsha lapho kulandzela ukuthi lapha la kakhona khona emasotsha kuthiwa ke kubhele ukuthi asuke kuze kuthi kutawakhiwa ke le Big 5 National Park ngonyama bekase ke singethwe nangifuma president welive lase Botswana His Excellency Seretse Khama. Royal Crow leads petition delivery head teacher wanted out. Indzaba ke I think indzaba ya letu kubulunga primary school le la khona bothishi angathi batali bagijimeke baya kubulunga primary school itolo bafuna ke tshela inhloko ahambe lesikole. Why grant bail 3 times? Minister indzaba ke yananga kunemntwana lo wabulawa wasike lo lambuleli wathola ke ibail. Indzaba le beyitekwa ke itolo ku Senate Portfolio Committee le bukeke kusebena kwentiko la Justice kuthiwa ke aku review ema bail conditions noma ke nale mthetho nje le bail Shelley step driver charged with DD. Uvelile ke inkantolo yamanje itolo lo solakala ngesibeka shayela le truck le bulele ke Shelley Motsa.
Yeah. Sibuka imidlalo Times of Eswatini making the leading headline there. Why ministry not intervening in Sihlangu? Kathateka lokukhona lapho khona bathi sports minister says interfering directly goes against international sports practices. Indzaba ke lena le khulumisa kakhulu the poor performance of Sihlangu le kuviwa ngathi ke khona le ministry inga intervene Sihlangu encenye singaba motivated ukuthi sidlale kangcono. Kanjena another one uthi coach wase Somalia batawina uma bahlangana nelikhethelo lesive Sihlangu semnikati uthi ke we will win against Sihlangu. Somalia national team head coach lokung Rashid Lustek ukushito lokho ke wathi primary objective yabo ekuthenini they will secure a victory against Sihlangu semnikati in their match letawudlalwa ke kusasa. Lenye ke indzaba former Wanderers ladies player sosishile emhlabeni in what has been a tragedy. Historically lesibiko lapha eMbabane, but it best describes the untimely death of former Manzini Wanderers ladies player Nokwanda Tsabetse bekatiwa ngani Kunene, affectionately known as Gwanda. Gwanda, who was in her early 30s, reportedly passed away on Saturday due to complications while giving birth, but the baby survived. Letoke lethamba imbili kutemidlalo encane sibukele qhamuka ngaphandle kwakuleli Carlos Alcaraz Indian Wells champion bese ke uyanqoba
kaze ke nasibuka lethu lethamba phambili kulo liphepha zaba
yes
kuthiwa ke driver charged with DD nekushayela ke budlapha indzaba ke yaleyo mshayeli welivele eNingizimu Afrika iFree State uvelile inkantolo yamanje itolo sibuka ke mother speaks for first time kule indzaba ya lo mntwana lo wabulawa naye says second daughter also not safe, try to inform community police about suspect. Late Dumisa's estate in case 8 billion loss ivele indzaba ke letekwa ke libandla lelibuka ke kungaphatheki kahle kwesive ofisini la ka master kuthiwa ke estate yasomabhizinisi Dumisa Dlamini ingazi sise lahlekelwe kuleyo ke 8 billion emalangeni. Indzaba lenye level lendzaba ilibhange Eswatini Bank ukuthi aliprove ukuthi ngabe vele Dumisa Dlamini bekali kweneta alibhange 11.2 million emalangeni yini na.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. So we get Temidlalo Eswatini Observer making the leading story. Fans blast EFA over players' ill treatment. Indzaba ke lena abadlali beSihlangu labayimfica laba bese basala mabaya kuyawudlala nelikhethelo le Morocco. Somalia eMorocco. Yeah, so balandzeli bebhola abakajabula kakhulu bathi the players were undervalued kuleyo decision ukuthi basalele emuva. Ngathi ke yendzaba ukuthi bathi khanze ba hitchhiker uma basala emuva. 270 million emalangeni to watch Sihlangu at Mbombela. This is going to be the Eswatini National Team Supporters Committee that has announced that it will cost 270 emalangeni for the return trip to watch Sihlangu's AFCON qualifiers match against Somalia. So the players were left out of squad at the 11th hour. Bull MC divided. Capital City Giants Mbabane Highlanders Management Committee reportedly rocked by internal division, and this is following the rigmarole that came with the decision of certain quarters to appoint a new head coach.
Lembala ngiletho ke bongo silethamba phambili kumaphepha zabakithi sibuka Eswatini Daily News nayo bahamba ngaleyo ndzaba yalo mshayelo live leNingizimu Afrika lethiwa ke bakashayela imoto leloli atsakiwe la bese sokulinyelelwa khona nguShelly Motha. Ndinankulu ke ufikile Taiwan la kubheka khona ukuthi abambe inkulumo na President Tsai Ing-wen aphinza abambe inkulumo ke na incoming noma ke President in waiting njengoba siyathi kusi banqoba ke likhetho bahalalisele ke Ndinankulu egameni lengwenyama base Taiwan ngekubamba likhetho lolukhululekile.
Sibuke temidlalo ke Swatini Daily News making the leading story there. Hulumende has spent 155,000 emalangeni on incentives. The Ministry of Sports, Culture and Youth Affairs Portfolio Committee report has revealed that Hulumende usebenzise imali lenganga 155,000 emalangeni on various athletes' incentives for winning medals in international events. Kanzike kulenye local teams run to World Athletics. Yekugcina Chiefs put Peterson in his place.
Bokosi lembala uyatithola ke tonke leto kuwo emaphepha zabase Eswatini naletinye nje leti khona kanzike lesikhathi sisabathola emarket nasibuya sasanza bathe kuqala talo mhla ekseni. You're watching the Tuesday edition of Kusile Breakfast Show. Good morning. Nasiza kusivulela mbukelo ubukelo umsakatho ethithombe Eswatini TV sehlelweni Kusile Breakfast Show sasa kenza bathe kuqala talo mhla ekseni. Induna yetemthetho nenza bathe emthetho sisekelo umthanishwa umthane nginkhosi Simelane kuseke kunesidingo sekubuketa imigomo yebheyili. Induna beyikhuluma ke eParliament lenzela ukuthi timbunga ndivete ke ukhathatheka kwato ngesigameko semthwana lo intombatana lo bulewe ke indvodza beke yaboshelwa kumhlukubeta nekubulala lebese ke seyiphuma ngebheyili.
Lithi nalichubeka nemsebenzi wokudzingisa imibiko ekusebenta kwelitiko letemtsetfo nemtsetfosisekelo nemaphakelo lelitiko likomiti lelibuka ekusebenta kwalelitiko endlini yetimphunga. Sihlalo walelikomiti imphunga Isaac Magagula ivete kutsi indlu nesive sishacekile kakhulu ngendzaba yemntfwana loyintfombatana lobulewe indvodza lephume ngebheyili ibe ibhekene nemacala ekusolakala ngekumhlukubeta nekubulala.
Sikusho lokhu ngenhlonipho nekwathi ukuthi tinkantolo tinama-discretions. Le bail order phela indzaba yinsha le wabo bail ayifuni lokuphela lapha in the public space iphe kukhulumeka now and again i-possibility minister ye-review ya whatever bail conditions or bail guidelines lakhona ngetheka kwabonakala kuyinto lengenteka yini.
Indvuna yetiko letemtsetfo nemtsetfosisekelo umhlonishwa umfana nkosi Simelane ivumelene naleli komiti kutsi nembala kunesidingo sekubuketa nekuchibela imigomo yemabheyili lapha evene.
Ungenziwa njani kwekuthi njengoba ukhanjasi lo muntu kuthiwe umuntu kuthiwe ngesimafomo ngu-50,000 ibail lo muntu ukhanze
akhipha 5,000 lite kuthiwe lokunye akabambisi bayawuphuma bonke ngemabheli ngaleyo ndlela leyo kufuna kwakhiwe umthetho lelapha kuthiwa akakhiphe lo 45,000 lo muntu abambise ke ngento nobe ngelibhayisikili lakhe la njeyana kunekuthi bantu baphumelula sethemba ukuthi utawulungiseka nje kubuhlungu vele sihlekwa ngomhlaba ukuthi yini le into ka eveni lemaswayo
Liphindze lithi leli komiti litiko alibukete lemigomo linake futhi ukuthi kude inemalungelo ebantfu lanyatselekako. Etindzabeni yeSwatini TV kubika Samkelsuwe Khoza sePhalamende.
Timpunga seticeleke litiko letemtsetfo ukuthi lisukumise imisebenzi letawucinisekisa kuthutfuka kwaloluhlangothi lwetemtsetfo kusukela ke emimangweni kuyofika eminyango yecondzisa ke timilo kuchithelwe nemitsetfo lemidzala. Timpunga betikhuluma ngesikhatsi indvuna yalelitiko umnthanenkosi Simelane etfula umbiko wekusebenta kwalelitiko lakhe kulesigaba sekugcina semnyaka wetimali wahulumende wa 2023-2024.
Indvuna yetiko letemtsetfo nemtsetfosisekelo umhlonishwa umphanenkosi Simelane wetfule sandvulelo sakhe endlini embiko likomiti lelibuke kusebenta kwalelitiko etimphungeni waveta kutsi lelitiko lisebentela kunaka temitsetfo nemalungelo ebantfu eveni kantsi timpunga tibe setiphosa imibuto endvuneni.
Imitsetfo lekhona la eveni ngubani lo responsible for kwakha lawo nangabe sogwetshiwe kwakha lawo ma-fines noma ukuthi sigwebo sakho singakanani just like nalabo bail ngicabanga ukuthi they seem a little bit outdated nawubuka lama amounts le bantfu babanike wona kwenta vele naloganga kube lula.
Ngike ngabuka nje mina lapha ecourt beyinhlele court kodwa uthi mawuthi uyabuka la ngephandle mabathi bathatha sibuka bambona ukuthi ubona ungazuthi akumaintainwa kude abantu labaklina la ngephandle akusapendwa kusekunema cracks uyatibuta kodwa thina sinemaswati sitentelelani phansi.
Ngibonge litiko ngendzaba ngawuthi vele bathi tenkwe before kube ngikwe indzaba yekhabo legal aid kwekuthi iphuthuma kakhulu leyo ndzaba leyo and siyalibongela live ekuthenini kube khona labo batawusitakala emaswati lanzinzile ngendzaba ye-legal aid.
Le legal aid legislation ne-amendment of the Legal Practitioners Act itanini ngoba phela lena yindzaba lenzala indvuna iyati besinayo eParliament itolo. So this we expected to be brought to the House kuthi lenzaba lena isebenteke.
Indvuna yelitiko letemtsetfo nemtsetfosisekelo umhlonishwa umphanenkosi Simelane ubese uniketa letinye timphendvulo endlini.
Imithetho kunalemdzala imithetho kunabo 1902 kunemithetho yabo manje ngengwenya sisengatholi independent cha likhona litiko lapha konkosikazi lakalolu reform cha basethi kwawo lemithetho udosa ngamunye etafuleni eshelfini kwekuthi babone ukuthi ilungiswa njani kutawuphangiswa che.
Lelitiko kubheke ukuthi letfule kuleli komiti timphendvulo tibhaliwe ngalesibili. Etindzabeni yeSwatini TV kubika Samkelsuwe Khoza sePhalamende.
Indvuna yetekwatisa netekuchumana umhlonishwa Savannah Maziya utsike lelitiko lihlele kutfutfukisa kusebenziswa kwetebuchwephesha lusito lahulumende lusenzele siveni. Indvuna ke beyikhuluma ePhalamende ngesikhatsi kuyethula umbiko wekusebenta kwelitiko layo kulesigaba sekugcina semnyaka wetimali wahulumende wa 2023-2024.
Ngesikhatsi likomiti lelibuke kusebenta kwelitiko letekwatisa tekuchumana netebuchwephesha etimphungeni leliholwa imphunga Fezeka Dlamini lidzingidza emaphakelo nembiko wekusebenta kwalelitiko indvuna yalo umhlonishwa Savannah Maziya wetfule sandvulelo sakhe endlini. Timphunga ke tibe setetfula imibuto yato lebheke kulo litiko letekwatisa.
Iphela nini le project le niwako le kasongqondongqondo kubona ukuthi seva kuthi yona ncola letasi dosela ukuthi siye Canaan lelive leMaswati lithole ukuthi likhicite ngalomsebenzi lo lapha.
Ngifuna uvasile itiko lingasita ukuthi wo lokuthumelela lomlayito lokuselucingo lolungozi usendaweni lengozi. Bese sengoba sengibhala ngithukile ubuphi bese ngingasatholakala ngivalo sose kwentekeni kude nje sibangalazi so usepitoli lokuthuka ngoba bekulaphi.
Sivamile kubhadala ngale kufuna kubukela ngale ezeMaswati Eswatini TV sikhashane kanganani in creating our own content singadzingi siMaswati kuphuma size siyofuna lokumnanzi kwangephandle.
Kunomthetho losuphumile losoprotecta i-data maneke angati ukuthi kuloko ikhona indlela yokumonitor naba labakoleka i-data. Siba nema users noma ema-service providers lamanenge latithathela nje i-data atisebenzisele ingahlangani nahulumende siyathi ukuthi litiko ngilo lelinale responsibility yokuba sengibani uthatha i-data ikakhulu i-data le-private nale-confidential eMaswati.
Indvuna umhlonishwa Savannah Mazia ubese uniketa timphendvulo ekomidini lelihloniphekile.
What we are trying to achieve is government in your hand. So that all the Maswati and my smartphones are interfacing nahulumende through ucingo lwabo. Uthi labo labanganato izincingo edithwa ama-smartphones bakwazi ukuthi baye enkundleni noma other areas lapho sitawu-arrange ukuthi sibe nama-relationships khona. The other thing lesifuna kuyenza senators, Honorable Chair, I should say, ukuthi sitawudzinga vele i-support yenu ngoba lesifuna kwenza ukuthi si-integrate wonke uhulumende into one portal. Nyalo nje nansi ngikhuluma nani, we are doing an audit in every ministry and every parastatal to find out what systems currently exist. Sasebenda na, is it fit for purpose and is it integratable? Ngoba sometimes thola ukuthi ama-departments ayathenga kuyafanana, thola ukuthi imali yahulumende seyamoshakala. The issue of data protection is very important. Vele, as you have seen, nama programs ekufundisa abantu ngokuthi how do they protect their own data ngoba lento leyo more than anything responsibility yamuntu. Nathi singasimfundisele ukuthi kwenziwa kanjani. Indzaba yaka multi choice ngingayikhuluma nje in 2 minutes, 2 seconds ukuthi vele it is a bit of a challenge for us ngoba vele lokuthi babe like we can access their programs more than anything. It does affect TV yakithi, but nathi funa siphakamise ama-services sithole ama-programs angathi are exciting and relevant for all ages. Lokuhlupha Honorable Chair ukuthi senikhulume kanene yemali incane. Lesifuna basikwende, it really will be requiring miracles. Tawudzinga vele ukuthi siphume from the borders alakhaya siyofuna ihloko tasita because ngeke sifike ndawo ngale mali lekhona.
Timphunga tiyidvumisile imisebenti yelitiko letekwatisa yekutfutfukisa kusebentisa kwetebuchwepheshe eveni lebonakalako baveta nekutsi emaphakelo alelitiko adzinga kwengedwa kute lelitiko lente imisebenti yalo iphelele live litfutfuke. Etindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika Samkelsiwe Khoza sephalamende.
Izonayite amabhizinisi netekuthengiselana umhlonishwa amancoba Khumalo uthi-ke kunemkhuba lophatamisa tekuthengiselana kwabo somabhizinisi labasayina-ke isivumelwano sekuthengiselana nebakhiciti bangaphandle kwelive lesiphocelela ukuthi umkhicito othile uthengiselwe munye somabhizinisi kuphela. Izona bekhuluma ngesikhathi sokumisa luhlelo lelitawufundzisa ngemalungelo ekuthenga nekuthengiselana etinkhundleni.
Ngesikhathi sokumisa lo msebenzi indvuna yelitiko letemabhizinisi nekuthengiselana umhlonishwa amancoba Khumalo uthi kulokunye kumele kunakwe indzaba yemazinga emkhicito yelive kanye nekuphepha kwayo sive sisathenga.
Laba kwendaba ukuthi bayele kulaba labathengisako bathi mabafika mhlonishwa kulala abathengisako bathi lokhu mina kangwane ngicela senze isivumelano nawe ukuthi kangwane sekuyathengiswa ngemngedwa. Basayine what they call exclusivity agreements. Bese ke le tingo matifika la kangwane ukhanze ukuthi mhlawumbe timo letidingekako ngikubonile lokhu kule pharmaceutical sector senguye kuphela lokhona ukuthi athenge lo muthi awulethe la kangwane. Ngiyacela ukuthi sisakusebenta lokhu sibuke CEO Competition Commission nguyiphi imithetho lengavikela emaswati ngoba uma sitakuyekela nje singawendi lo mthetho kude ke emathulusi lesingaba nawo ukuthi sesithi wena wekumele siyakuva unelungelo lokwenda le exclusivity agreement but ithina umthetho wethu ukuthi umuntu lo wende lokho mhlawumbe sitabomcharge imali lengaka.
Indvuna yelitiko letinkundla umhlonishwa Sikhumbuzo Dlamini yena uthi lolu hlelo lumgcoka kakhulu esiveni.
Litiko letinkundla ke indvuna lihloniphekile asisho lokuthi vele libheke lokukhulu kakhulu kulomsebenzi lokucala kolwenza isivene lapho khona kufundiswa khona lamaswati lephasi etinkundleni kuyenda wona ama campaigns la ekutheni labantu bathi lo ukuthi kufanele ukuthi bagadze ini kakhulu lephasi emakhaya bonke labantu abatawuzuza.
Umphathi wenkampani lebuke kugcutselana kwamabhizinisi Musi Dlamini uthi lo msebenzi ulithuba lekuthi tinhlangothi letibukele bathengi tibambisane kuthuthuke tindzaba temalungelo ebathengi.
The launch today of Tinkundla Awareness Campaign further offers the Competition Commission and the Ombudsman of Financial Services an opportunity to collaborate towards empowering eMaswati from our communities with information relating to our mandates, powers and functions related to the protection of consumer rights.
Nganthi umlamuli wetindzaba tetimali noNdumiso Simelane uthi lelo ofisi litawuchubeka libambisana latinye tinhlangothi kude bathengi banganyatseleki.
Our office, as the Office of the Ombudsman of Financial Services, has a relationship with Eswatini Competition Commission through a memorandum of association, which has actually seen meaningful engagements through our partnership being a success and engaging the consumer in a holistic approach.
Lo mkhankaso walokufundisa sive etinkundleni ngemalungelo ebathengi utawuqala etinkundleni letine. Etindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika Samkelisiwe Khoza Zembabane.
Indvuna yetemfundo nekuqeqesha umhlonisha owencumana yithi-ke tebuchwephesha tinemandla ekuhlomiseni bafundzi ngelwati lolungabasita ukuthi bahlabane etifundweni tabo. Indvuna ikusho lokho ngesikhathi-ke yemukela lusito lwemali lilinganiselwa etigidini letimbili temalangeni tekwakha-ke emagumbi ekufundzela ngcondvomshina etikoleni letimbili etiphakeme lekuyi-Meta Dolorosa MDS kanye neMkhuzweni.
Umukela lolusito uhulumende welive leJapan indvuna yetemfundo umhlonishwa wencumalo ithi lesivumelwano lesi sitawusita abantwana beMaswati ukuthi babe nemakhono lakhaliphile latawusita ekufuleni umnotho welive.
BaseJapan basiniketa imali lengangetigidzi letimbili 1.9 million yokwakha ema-computer labs esikoleni saseMkhuzweni naseMeta Dolorosa. Lokho siyakubonga kakhulu, siyathemba ukuthi tikolwa titawaphatha kahle lamalab noma phela atawusita ebantfaneni kubafundzisa kuze ukuthi nabo likusasa labo libe nelikahle kuleti tebuchwephesha.
Lo ncuse lelive leJapan kuleli Osho Shigeru uthi balive leJapan batibophelele ekucubeka nekusita live leSwatini. Osho uthi imfundo yilungelo lawonke kanzi futhi isikhali lesinemandla ekulweni nebuphuya.
The government of Japan reassured its commitment to continue providing assistance to the Kingdom of Eswatini through the grant assistance for grassroots human security.
Live leSwatini kanye neleJapan selihlanganise iminyaka lengama-52 asayina isivumelwano sekusebenzisana lapho khona live leSwatini selizuze imisebenti emikhulu lilinganiselwa ema-60 lekufaka ekhatsi tikolwa letiphakeme leti-16. Lo bikela umsakazi wetithombe yeSwatini TV ngumpendulo Gumbi eMbabane.
Batali bebantwana besikole lesincane sakubulunga bavaleke esikolwa eTolo bakhala-ke ngathishela nhloko ukuthi kuningi langakwendi kahle kulesikole. Labatali bathi kude kulunge akashinjwe lo thishela nhloko.
Labatali bavuke umbhejazane bathi bakhathatekile ngendlela tinto tenteka ngakhona esikolweni. Bamise kufunza ngamsombuluko ekuseni bathi akunakwe tikhalo tabo ekakhulukazi thishela nhloko bathi nguyena angendi kahle. Bathi sikolo akasinaki kwenile bantwana batawulunywa tinyoka kulokunye lokunyenti labakhala ngako. bese ativalele endlini nasifika kutiphephisa kulesimo besingephandle. Bacile Gametse lopheka khona-ke esikolweni nanaye unetakakhe Tikhalo.
Na 2 years angiboli ngile ka-labor eMahlandla kwasekugcineni kwami ngaya ka-RO uhluleka kuyogaya nanyalo umbili ulapha ekhishini uyabola kunembili wanga-2022 kunembili wanga-2023 nyalo uhulumende kulamavili laphela ilulethe kudla kuphelele rice usele umbila lapha kwekuthi-ke lo mbila ube khona uyanyamalala lapha ekhishini.
Nebatali-ke bavete Tikhalo letibende bafike kulesincumo.
Siye sicele lokuthi phela sibe nemihlangano sithi imihlangano nala sikolweni sitokhona ukuthi silungise tona leti indzaba enhlala kahle labamvana kepha lithuba lesingazange sisilithole asilitholi. Mina nje ngakubekisela umfana sozufunza grade 6 umhlangano lo kwaba khona waba kanye waba nga-2020 ngiko lokhu kusente engazi ukuthi batalise baze basuke manje bathukuthela nabo bafuna impendulo ngoba lokhu kakhulu kubonakala infrastructure yalesikole iyawa kakhulu. Besetule isikole in terms of performance besiperforma kahle in terms of infrastructure besine infrastructure le kahle ngakubekisela nje kunana iApollo nayo lebekhanyisa sonke lesikole ebusuku namuhla ayisakhayi le Apollo le.
Uma ungaya uyobuka lapha edladleni la kudla khona abantwana bethu nanyalo ba strong ukuthi bangaguli kwamele ukuthi ngabe nje bayagula.
Kube sokufika emaphoyisa kutogcina kuthula noko lakhanza kokuthi bede ludlame labatali kuphela nje bafuna kuviwa kule bakhala ngako. Thishela Nhloko lebakhala ngaye Michael Dlamini semtholile kuphendvula Tikhalo talabatali wacela-ke kungaveli etithombeni. Na indzaba lenye yamake lo pheka ekhishini uthi cishe iminyaka emibili solwa.
Akusiyiminyaka lemibili mhlawumbeni kungaba tinyanga akusiyiliciniso seminyaka lemibili. Okay seheshile mina kethu njengoba ubonile then saphinde sathenga umuthi nje nangu la endlini then sitawuhesha la sihesha khona because naleti ndleko siyatibuka kusekutingakanani sitawuhesha nangu umuthi wasinika uhulumende siyahamba siyogaya sitambu endaba mhloshana sisi-subsidizele ngale rice lesinikwe yona.
Emaphoyisa-ke acele ukuthi akukhululwe bantwana baye emakhaya isasebentwa lendzaba. Lenye-ke timbuku tesikolwa uyikhiphe endlini kakhe tishela lomkhulu wathi akusilonani liqiniso ukuthi bantwana abadli bantwana bayadla. Sikhanzeke ukuthi kunetimbuku lebese kucala konakala khona-ke ekhishini. Kanti umphathi welihhovisi letemfundo esifundeni sakaManzini lekungu-REO Sizo Unene bese avele athumele libandla kulesikolwa ukuthi lithole ukuthi kuchubekani uthi teke batawunela kubuya nepoti bese-ke seyiyasebentwa. Etindzabeni kubika Giyani Msibi kubulunga.
Indvuna yethu yamabhizinisi alokuthengisela namancuba akhumalo ithi-ke uhulumende usendile isiqiniseko sokuthi bosomabhizinisi bakuleli abaphumi ebhizinisini ngenxa yesivumelwano setokuthengiselana semave i-Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement njengoba-ke itawuba miningi imikhiqizo yakulabanye amave letawungena kuleli. Indvuna ivete lokhu nayichaza kabanti ngalesivumelwano.
Tinhlangano tabosomabhizinisi tibe nekwesaba ukuthi kungenteka kungene imikhicido letawubakhokha ebhizinisini ikakhulu bosomabhizinisi labancane. Indvuna yelitiko letemabhizinisi ithi bayisebenta ngekucophelela lokukhulu indzaba yokuthi bosomabhizinisi bakuleli bazuze ngalokuphelele kulesivumelwano ngako lokhu ngeke kwenteke.
There are certain protections that we have signed up for. Right now it's only about 90% of our products that are up for free trade in the continent. We've protected certain industries, for example, sugar. Imports in sugar will still remain controlled, and a few other, products of that nature where we believe jobs will be lost and businesses might be lost if we open up those industries.
Indvuna iphindze yachaza ukuthi kwendiwe indlela yokuthi emave athengiselane ngemali yawo ngaphansi kwalezivumelwano kanti futhi kuqinisekisiwe ukuthi bosomabhizinisi abalahlekelwa imali yabo.
One of the protocols that has been signed as part of the AfCFTA is a common trading platform where each country can trade in their own currency, and in that platform it gets converted into whatever currency that the other stakeholder is operating in, but it interfaces between countries without you feeling it. So we will trade in our normal currency.
Inhlangano yabosomabhizinisi iBusiness Eswatini sitawusebenzisana nelitiko ukubukisana ukuthi batawuzuza kanjani bosomabhizinisi ngalokuphelele kulesivumelwano njengoba isindvo semali yemave eAfrika singafani futhi sishintsha kulesinye isikhathi. Edindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika Nelson Dlangamandla kunavuma inkosi inzinisa yezulwini.
Inhlangano yakamhlaba United Nations kanye nelibhange elikhulu kuleli Central Bank of Eswatini ihlangane netinhlangothi letitsinsekako kubuka ukuthi imigomo yetimali ingathuthukiswa njani futhi ke iqiniswe kude ite ukhona kwesekela tinhlangothi letawuthuthukisa umnotho welive. Libuke mavosi akamhlaba hlangene kuleli George Wachira uthi ke imigomo yetimali ingadlala indima lenkhulu kuthuthukisa umnotho welakangwane.
Lobuke emahhovisi aka-United Nations uthi kumcoka ukuthi kwakhiwe imigomo letawuqinisekisa ukuthi bosomabhizinisi bayesekeleka ngetimali, kukhuliswe umnotfo futhi kucedve kweswela kungakho bahlangene netinhlangothi letitsinsekako kubukisana ukuthi lokhu kungenziwa kanjani.
This meeting is here to discuss an important area of development, which we call priority sector leading. This is the idea of how we can encourage policy tools to be leveraged towards particular areas of production in society that could help us advance sustainable development, while at the same time addressing major development issues such as unemployment, reduction of poverty, as commanded the other day by His Majesty the King.
Umphathi welibhange lelikhulu kuleli Dr. Philmnisi uthi lenye indzaba labayibukile ukuthi kunakwe tindzaba tekuthi imvelo ivikelwe kusendiwa emabhizinisi nakulolu hlangothi lwetimali. Uchubeka uthi tincomo letitawuphuma kulo mhlangano titawusetikhulunyiswa kabanti nahulumende.
Whilst we are doing this, we are bringing in the issue of climate change, green financing, because we need to grow our economy on a sustainable basis. That's why we are bringing in the context of climate change, green financing, greening the economy, greening the financial sector. We want this to be relevant as we are lending in these priority sectors. We need the voice of the banking sector. We need the private sector. We need the public sector. We need the banking sector. We need to have this coordinated approach. My view is that we'll then lift it up to a policy level. We would like to have this similar dialogue with policymakers, because unless there is a policy and a political will, we will never realize what we are talking about.
Tinhlangothi letahlukene lebekade tingenele lo mhlangano tithi ubambisana kanye nekufundzisa kabanti ngetebhizinisi kanye nekutfola indlela yokuthi bosomabhizinisi babolekwe imali lokunye lokutawutfutfukisa umnotfo welive. Edindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika Nelson Dlangamandla kunavuma inkosi inzinisa yezulwini.
Indvodzana yalebeka ngusomabhizinisi Dumisa Dlamini Makhosemvelo Dlamini ithi ke icela libandla leliphenya kukhala ngekungaphatheki kahle kwemafa ehhovisini lakaMaster liphenye ngelifa lemufi. Le ndvodzana ithi icela ke kucelwe ne-Eswatini Bank ukuthi ilethe ubufakazi bekuthi uyise washona akoleta lelibhange imali lengetulu kwa 11.2 million emalangeni. Lokho kuvele ngesikhathi lelibandla lilalela sikhalo ngekungabiwa kahle kwelifa Dlamini.
Makhosemvelo Dlamini lo indvodzana yaDumisa Dlamini lobeka ngusomabhizinisi lomkhulu eveni sewutshelela ibandla leliphenya kungaphathwa kahle kwemafa ehhovisini lakaMaster ukuthi iSwazi Bank noma Eswatini Bank yenda umkhonyovu ukuthi izuze imali lengafika ku-56 million emalangeni efeni leyise. Makhosemvelo utshele inkantolo ukuthi leli bhange lathi umufi beka likweleta imali lengetulu kwa 11.2 million emalangeni lase litfola sijubo lesathi le mali ayibhadalwe seyinematfole. Ngetulu kwaloko kwasekuthengiswa ke netitandi lokwenda le mali yakhuphuka yaya etulu.
This matter rests on one thing: the bank producing its claim in supporting documents. The Master can move forward, we can move forward. How did we get to the knowledge of the judgment handed down by Mapalala PJ was fraudulent? was the actions of the managing director when he came clearly and said, look, this thing is wrong. My predecessors, on the 4th of September 2008, should not have done this. This is clear fraud. Now, by not in the complaint, we deal with the issue of fraud and what should follow after. So meaning to go to court and leave the insolvency process if it's not existing in itself, it was wrong. But be that as it may, they went to court and got judgment for the suretyship amount. And then they sold in that process as if they are not a participant in the insolvency process. Having recovered those suretyship amounts, they did not seek, even when they were selling, they did not seek the direction on the consent of the master. The EFTA should have highlighted that the basis of the bank of suing these companies to recover the suretyship bonds or the suretyship amount was the very same judgment that they are relying on for their claim insolvency.
Umphathi welihhovisi lakaMaster Phumzile Thomo uthi indzaba yalelifa sebayiyisa enkantolo. Leli bandla lisengakacethi ngalendzaba.
It would be nice, I suppose, if I mean, we get, let's say, the file representing, the process representing the matter that is in court in terms of the application to see what, is there or is not there. Yes, please. Plus, of course, your response to the other issues.
Evikini lelitako libhange leSwatini Bank kanye naloyo lobuke lelifa ladumisa kubheke ukuthi basho labakwatiko ngalendzaba. Etindzabeni teSwatini TV kubika Themkosi Mavimbela, Ninathemba Shabangu, eMpabane.
Stephen Shipping longumshayeli weloli wasevendeni eNingizimu Afrika sekubekwe emacala lamathathu lafayikhathi kufelwa ngumuntu ngesiphosiso. Shipping wenda lokhu ngekuthi-ke ashayise Shelikeni Mota libeke kagijima eceleni kwemigaqo kuManzana eMbabane. Shipping loneminyaka lengu-43 ubekwe nelicala lekutholakala ashayela imodolo anathile. Licala lakhe lesithathu lekushayela ngebudlapha. Lo mselo-ke uvele enkantolo yamanje ngaphambi kwamanje lomkhulu ufikile eNhlabathi enkantolo yamanje lapha eMbabane. Lapho-ke atshele khona ukuthi indzaba yakhe itawubuya enkantolo mhla ka-25 enyangeni leSetulo. Kusamele-ke kubekwa kwelanga lekutekwa kwaleli cala lakhe. Kulemidlalo umengameli wenhlangano yemidlalo wemotorsports lapha eVeni Eugene DuPont uthi-ke isifiso sabo lesikhulu ukubona eMaswati lamanyenti adlala-ke lo mdlalo kungako-ke batimisele nangekubamba imigcizelwano kulo mnyaka. Le minyaka le migcizelwano itawungenelwa nabadlali bangaphandle kwakuleli.
Umdlalo wemotorsport lapha eVeni noma sonesikhathi lesidze wabakhona kodwa-ke elinyenti leMaswati solo lesaba kudlala njengoba saba kudlala ngetitututu. Kanti-ke Eugene longumengameli wenhlangano yemotorcycle lapha eVeni uthi abangesabi bamvu bete kutodlala lo mdlalo.
Kahle kahle sifuna ukuthi laMaswati bafika lana bajoina le sport lela because we feel like we've only tapped a small market of what's available in Swaziland. And that's why we are very excited about Sports Council's initiatives, the Shuguma events, because it takes us out into the country, different regions of the country, and siyabakumbisa ukuthi hey, nice tututu, isebenza kanjani, siwendana lesitututu. And labantu bayajabula nje. It's really impressive when we see kids interested in the sport, because we want to grow it. We've been here for the last 40, 50 years. Motocross has always been a big part of Swaziland, and we want to continue that.
Kanti kule midlalo ekuqala ema-championship series, Timo Tofa uhambe embili.
I just got a good start and then made it easy for me. Guess the track is more one line. It's not very easy to pass. When you make passes, you make a few mistakes. So yeah, I got a good start and then able to pass forward on the first lap, so that made it easy for me. not sitting behind the guys for the rest of the race.
Sigaba sesibili sale midlalo kubheka ukuthi sibanjwe mhla ka-14 ngenyanga yaMabasa kulo mnyaka losetulu khona edwaleni. Lobikela umsakathi Eswatini TV temidlalo ngilinda Dlamini anaphathizwe Msibi edwaleni.
Bokusikala temidlalo asitibambe lapha ke icala talo mhla kuseni sibatshela ukuthi manje nasibuya sifiso tabeka nemciziso kaSimaka. Usufuna kuva nje naline lithi when I'm being exploited at work. Kusuke ke ngendiwa ini. Sibatshela ukuthi manje Thembongosi.
We are talking about disease X today and the priority list of pathogens. How does a bacteria or virus get on this list? And what do countries need to do to keep you safe from these pathogens? Here to talk about it is Dr. Anna Maria Restarapo. Welcome, Anna Maria. Let's talk disease X. Is that a real disease that's circulating right now?
Well, I think the first thing I want to clarify today is that there is no a virus or a bacteria circulating right now that is called disease X and is causing disease. We are preparing for the future. So we are talking about an hypothetical disease. To give a name, the scientists call it disease X to prepare for the hypothetical virus or bacteria that in the future can cause large outbreaks or epidemics or pandemics. There are many viruses and bacteria that can infect animals, including humans. For a few, we already have vaccines, diagnostics, and therapeutics. We know what are the viruses that we need to be alert to. We know what are the bacteria we need to be alert to, but there are many, thousands of them. So we need to have a simplified way to refer to them without knowing which one will cause the next pandemic, and we call it pathogen X.
So, Anna Maria, talk to us about the WHO priority list for pathogens. Why do we need such a list, and how does a pathogen get on that list?
There are many viruses and bacteria that can infect humans and animals in general. So how do you go about preparing for them? You cannot investigate each of them in clear detail, so you have to have a strategy to deal with it. This is why WHO has invited hundreds of scientists to work with us to try to identify which ones have the pandemic potential, which ones we know now, with the information we have today, can cause severe disease and outbreaks. We also have a list of the ones who are not causing severe disease and outbreaks now, but that may change in the future, so we have to keep an eye on them. So how do we prepare? So we do 4 things. First of all, we keep an eye. It means we have systems to monitor how they circulate among humans and animals, if they change, if they improve their ability to infect us and cause disease. Second, we have to conduct research to understand how they infect us, how our immune system protects when they infect us. That's critical because it leads to the third step, that is developing in advance vaccines, diagnostics, and therapeutics that can potentially help us reduce the risk of being sick, reduce the risk of having severe disease, and reduce the risk of transmission if they cause an outbreak. Also, we work very much on how to produce these vaccines and these diagnostics and these therapeutics when we develop them, how we ensure that we produce enough of them, use the technology to produce large amounts, how do we evaluate them to ensure they are safe and they are indeed effective against the disease and the severe outcomes that we want to protect people from. And finally, having this list also helps us to focus our collective efforts. You see, we share information, scientists talk to each other, we identify what we know and what is missing, and that way we maximize the capacity we have today to conduct research. In the end, what everybody wants to do and what the scientists wants to do is to help governments to be prepared. So if there is a new pathogen like we have with COVID, emerging, that we are better prepared, that there are less people who get sick, less suffering, less economic damage, less problems for the society.
Anna Maria, talk to us about the research and development that countries need to do now to prepare for a future pandemic caused by an unknown disease X.
There are several things that countries can do. From the research perspective, it's important to keep an eye out, to monitor which viruses and bacteria are circulating in their populations, in their country. That's critical. The second thing is to characterize those viruses and bacteria, how they transmit, how they infect the people, how they cause disease. The third point is contribute to your local, regional, and global efforts to develop vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics. And the last point is work together to ensure the researchers have the tools, the financial resources, the support to evaluate those products so that we ensure they are safe and they have the desirable effect in reducing infection and disease. And finally, collaboration and coordination is important. Collaboration helps us achieve our goal of getting vaccines, diagnostics, and therapeutics to be prepared for the pathogen X or for the next pandemic, whatever causes it.
Thank you, Anna Maria. That was Science in 5 today. Until next time then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stick with science.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba-researche, bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna sente ukukhicita lokhu sekubili.
Now, welcome back. The Conciliation, Mediation and Arbitration Commission, popularly known as CIMAC, has a big purpose of, promoting effective labor dispute management, as well as to undertake speedy dispute resolution for parties involved in the labor market. Now, on the 21st and the 22nd of March, they will be hosting their annual labor law seminar under the theme Enhancing Harmony in the Workplace. Let's talk to Thembi Nkosi Dlamini. He is the Chief Financial Officer khona kaSimak ngawo lo msebenzi lotawuba khona the annual labor law seminar. Siyadwe ukuthi say ba famous kakhulu le seminar lena Nkosi iyabuya, but before usichazele kabanti ngayo leya lo nyaka singene na kule sicubulo, maybe you want to see an overview of who CIMAC is and what it is that you do kaSimak.
Okay, thank you so much, Mkwanazi. And
Ngomalo,
I think. And good morning to your viewers. As indicated, my name is Thembi Nkosi Dlamini. Siyabonga nje kakhulu for this opportunity. I think CIMAC, we are a statute, okay? We are established and in terms of the law,
right?
That is Section 62 of the Industrial Act of 2000. And really our mandate as a commission is to provide speedy resolution of disputes. And we also come in to prevent those disputes.
I wonder,
yes.
I'm not too sure how often disputes occur in the workplace.
Sure.
Maybe because where I work there isn't, a lot of disputes. But there are certain, there are other laws, labor laws that are there in terms of, just the welfare of the employee. Do you also cover those outside of just, like a serious dispute? It's just, protecting the welfare of employees.
I think we operate under a framework or a mechanism that is called the alternative dispute resolution mechanism,
right.
which is basically reconciliation or conciliation, mediate or arbitrate.
Right.
So our focus is basically mainly on those three mechanisms.
Right.
We try to conciliate, we try to mediate, and then we offer arbitration.
Let's talk about the seminar. Really interested in the theme of this seminar, Enhancing Harmony in the Workplace. It's dubbed for the 21st and the 22nd of March.
Sure.
Ding 19.
Ding 19, yes.
2 days now.
2 days to go.
Yeah.
2 days to go. And we're counting the days.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. How excited are you about it? What is it really that is entailed in this seminar?
Look, we are quite excited, and I want to believe our stakeholders are equally excited as well. And for us, this is a forum. We are now dubbing an annual labor law seminar, which we are hosting every year. And it's exciting because each and every year we try to bring excellent speakers, eloquent speakers, renowned speakers, people that will bring and try and influence our policies and also give direction in terms of issues around the labor law space. So it's really exciting.
Yeah. Let's talk about the speakers. You have alluded to the fact that you will have exciting speakers.
Sure.
Could you mention some of them?
Oh, yes. Look, for us, we are bringing, I think, speakers in almost all Africa. We have judges, from Namibia, that will be speaking in this seminar, the first of its kind.
Yeah.
We have the director from South Africa, who is the system aid director from South Africa, Mr. Nduna. Of course, we have our local judicial judges that will also be speaking on this seminar, including Justice Nkosinathi, we also Justice Vizet, we also Justice Twala, amongst other speakers. We are, of course, having panelists in terms of discussions. We have renowned CEOs that will be speaking in this seminar, including Nick Jackson. We have XPDC, the CEO there, Mr. Kumalo. We have the MTN head of operations, Mr. Nhlego. So yeah, we are bringing a lot.
Yeah.
And the public should brace themselves.
Yeah, and I'm just putting myself in the shoes of the public, having articulated the program and what it looks like.
Sure.
Surely they are very interested in coming through and learning about everything that you want to teach at the seminar. What does the damages look like? What do they look like?
Really, the term damages is a bit extreme.
Yeah, right.
For us, it's just a conversation.
Okay.
To say thank you, Simak, for bringing this information.
Okay.
Top of the shelf information at such a very cheap price. So we are, looking around 4.2 per participant, which is 4,200.
Right.
Now, if you desire to bring, 10 people, we also have tables that are going around 40,000. So if we have 10 people, we then give a discount of 200.
Yeah.
So we have 4,000. So for 10 people, you could pay around 40,000. And of course, we are not living at our students. We understand in the country we have people that are still interested, but in school or in colleges. So we have students at 3,500 Malangan.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's very fair.
Right.
Very fair. Very fair.
Considering the All-Star.
And of course, this is a 2-day seminar, Mr. Ngomara.
Indeed.
2-day seminar. So just
March.
imagine you're sitting there for 2 days and then you're just paying 4,200.
Let's talk about the stalls. I've also heard that you will have exhibitions, or let me say stalls, at the seminar. Can I just come through with my own stall? What are some of the procedures around that?
Yes, look, everyone is invited, but of course we have to, compensate as a bit. And then for stalls, it's about 4,500.
Okay.
And of course, it also gives an opportunity to also come inside and view the speakers and listen to the presentation. So you're not just setting up a stall outside, but you can also walk in at any point in time and listen to the presentation. If you want to make a contribution, you can also contribute.
Yeah.
So stalls are around 4,500.
Interesting. I mean, it's a truth. No organization can thrive if it is not conducive, and particularly that is centered around the employees and the employer.
Sure.
There shouldn't be any conflict. There shouldn't be any disputes. And I'm just, want to circle around the theme, enhancing harmony in the workplace. Let's talk about this theme. With the current picture of a lot of organizations, the cases that you deal with there, what do we look like currently in Eswatini in terms of conflicts, and how essential will this, theme in particular be when you will be imparting it?
Sure. I think that, look, that's a good observation, Mr. Ngomale. And of course, for us, when we sit down to craft a theme, I think we try to make sure that it resonates to what is actually happening within the labor space. And the issue of harmony is really key in any environment. For anyone to be productive, they need to operate in a space where there's harmony. So as such, that is why we felt, I think maybe it's time we engage on this harmony to make sure that we talk around issues that could bring harmony, issues that are preventing harmony. And also then we also wish to advise, organization. And we're expecting HR, we're expecting the CEOs to be part of that, that discussion, just to have a conversation around Harmony and how and why it is best for any organization to maintain harmony. Because without harmony, people cannot produce.
And, one wonders with everything that's happening. I mean, I look at most of these things from the outside looking in, particularly from the position at which I sit, from a journalistic point of view. You observe quite a lot in the country, a lot of organizations and companies. You find that a lot of employees complain about being overworked and being exploited. Are those some of the things that you advise them on? Because surely, conflicts could emanate from that.
Surely. And of course, if you consider the topics that we'll be discussing, we're talking about the issues of minimum wages. We are talking about the issues
That's a big one.
We are talking about the issues of bargaining. We are talking about the issues of unionization. Is it correct to be unionized?
Right.
Is it the right thing to organize? Is it the right thing to strike? When and how do you strike? How do you organize? So all those topics are actually speaking to the issue of harmony in the workplace.
Right, it's very interesting. I just wish I could be there.
Oh, sure, you're most welcome.
I'm most welcome.
4,200, yeah.
So, Davini, thank you so much for joining us on the program today.
Yes.
I hope you're not leaving any information out. The cost per delegate?
4,200.
4,200.
Yes,
I think we should really articulate that one for Mbugeli Kaya, 4,200.
And of course, just to also mention, we're at the Happy Valley, by the way.
Okay.
We're at the Happy Valley on the 21st to the 22nd, which is a Thursday and a Friday. So we're at the Happy Valley, Thursday and Friday this week.
This week.
Yes.
The 21st and the 22nd of March, South Valley CIMAC will be hosting their annual labor law seminar. All stars and speakers that you do not want to miss. The knowledge that they will be imparting surely will be helpful to you, to your organization, and to the overall welfare of everyone. Jelo lapho ni sebenda khona tinkapantonga let khona lapha events thambe ukuthi ke onke emaswati particularly latsinzekako kuleti ndzaba leti atawuhamba aye kulo msebenzi angeke ngithi ayo support ayabe ati supporta wona
yes
nobuka lo ukuthi kutabe kusitakala wona. So we do hope ukuthi bantu vele batakuya. It is on the 21st and the 22nd of March, Happy Valley Hotel as well.
I think the issue of registration.
Sorry?
Yes. I think I'm forgetting the issue of registration,
right.
Mr. Numala. And we are ensuring that people register first before they just walk into the seminar. So we have registration link in all our posters.
Okay.
We also have the link in all in our social media platforms. So people are invited to just click in there and register. There's a form that you will get when you click in there. The form has all the details in terms of your contact, our banking details. So yeah, so I think that is key, Mr. Norman. People will have to register for this seminar.
I think
it's very critical.
Mbukeli nje ekhaya atawungena ku internet. I was just scrolling through my phone as you were making that presentation to Mbukeli Makaya. The link is there. It has the 2024 annual labor law seminar registration form, which is an e-form, an online form that you do find online. You can just Google that on your search bar. Ufake 2024 annual labor law seminar. It's just going to direct you. The first thing that will appear is the online form. Uyakhona ke ku register ba motivate ukuthi kube into nithakaselako lena ngoba it makes everything seamless ahead of the actual day of the seminar. So ngena nyalo nje internet nangabe yakhona nyalo, or during the day you have another day tomorrow, but do it ahead of the actual day of the seminar. Sibahle make testa buya sibukenza bathi singisi.
Be sure to catch Business Watch every Wednesday between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., where we feature the latest updates on business news, market trends, and exclusive interviews with industry leaders, as well as insights on emerging small and medium enterprises in the commercial sector. Business Watch, your business leader.
Ujala masaba mahle kunakho lesa.
Sabatandi ukuthi njengalokho sivile sive sithi khulumeni.
It's 5 minutes after 7. You're still tuned in to Eswatini TV. You're watching the Tuesday edition of the Kusile Breakfast Show. A very good morning to you, and thank you for joining us. If you have just joined us, we'll look at the English news, starting with a story coming from the Ministry of Justice, where the Honourable Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Prince Simelane, has said that the ministry will look into the issue of bail regulations. Now, the Honourable Minister was speaking in Parliament following concerns about a man who murdered a teenage girl after getting out on bail on charges including murder and assault.
When the Ministry of Justice Portfolio Committee debated the ministry's annual performance report, the chairperson of the committee, Senator Isaac Makakula, tabled a concern of the House about a teenage girl who was brutally murdered by a man who happened to get out on bail.
Sikusho lokhu ngenhlonipho nekwathi kusidi inkantolo tinama-discretions. Le bail order phela yendzaba yisha le yabo bail. Ayifuni lokuphela lapha in the public space. Iphekukhulumeka now and again. Possibility, Minister, ye review whatever bail conditions or bail guidelines lakhona.
The Honourable Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Prince Simelane, said, indeed, there is a need to review the bail regulations of the country.
Keep off 5,000 akabambisi bayawuphuma bonke nemabheli ngaleyo ndlela leyo kufuna kwakhiwe umthetho lelapha kuthiwa akakhiphe lo 45,000 nomuntu abambise ke ngento nobe ngelibhayisikili lakhe la njeyana kunekuthi bantu baphumelula sethemba ukuthi utawulungiseka nje kubuhlungu vele sihle kwangomhlaba ukuthi yini le into ka eveni le maswayo.
The committee asked the minister to be cognizant of human rights issues when reviewing the bail regulations. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Suekoza, Parliament.
Senate has implored the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs to amend legislative frameworks that will speak to the development of justice as well as constitutional affairs of the country. Now, the senators were speaking during the debate of the ministry's 2023-2024 annual performance report.
The Honourable Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Prince Simelane, delivered his preamble before the Ministry's Senate Portfolio Committee for the annual performance report, where the committee members debated the report.
Imithetho lekhona la eveni ngubani lo responsible for kwakha lawo nangabe sogwetshiwe kwakha lawo ma fines noma ukuthi sigwebo sakho singakanani just like nalabo bail ngicabanga ukuthi they seem a little bit outdated nawubuka lama amounts le babanike wona kwenda vele naloganga kube lula.
Ngike ngabuka nje mina lapha court beyinhlele court kodwa uthi mawuthi uyabuka la ngephandle mabathi bathatha sibuka bambona ukuthi ubona ungazuthi akumaintainwa kude abantu labaklina la ngephandle akusapendwa sekunema cracks uyatibuta ukuthi kodwa thina sinemaswati sitentelelani phansi.
Ngibonge litiko kwendzaba ngawuthi vele basithe ngwe before kube ngwe indzaba yekhabo legal aid kwekuthi iphuthuma kakhulu leyo ndzaba leyo and siyalibongela live ekuthenini kube khona labo batawustakala emaswati lanzenzile kendzaba yekhalegal aid.
Le legal aid legislation ne-amendment of the Legal Practitioners Act itanini ngoba phela lena yindzaba lenzala indvuna iyati besinayo eParliament itolo So this we expected to be brought to the House. Ukuthi le ndzaba lena isebenteke.
The Honourable Minister then gave responses before the committee.
Imithetho kunale mdzala, imithetho kunabo 1902. Kunemithetho yabo mandla ngengwenya sisengatholi independent. Cha likhona litiko lapha konkosikazi lakalolu reform. Cha basethi kwawo lemithetho udosa ngamunye etafuleni eshelfini kwekuthi babone ukuthi ilungiswa njani kutawuphangiswa che.
The Ministry of Justice will submit a report of written responses before the committee on Tuesday. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Kusile Koza, Parliament.
The Honourable Minister of Information, Communications and Technology, Savannah Mazia, says the ministry is working on transforming government services through the use of technology. The Honourable Minister was speaking in Parliament during the debate of the ministry's performance report for the 2023-2024 financial year.
The Honourable Minister of Information, Communications and Technology, Savannah Mazia, delivered her preamble before the Portfolio Committee on the annual performance of the ministry with the members of the House debating the report.
Iphela nini le project le ndiwako le kasongqondongqondo ubona ukuthi seva ukuthi ngiyona ncola letasi dosela ukuthi siye Canaan. Live le Maswati lithole ukuthi likhicide ngalomsebenzi lo lapha.
Ngifuna uvasile itiko lengangisida ngithi wo lokuthumelela lomlayeto lokuselucingo lolungozi usendaweni lengozi. Bese sembala umthukele ukuphi bese ngingasatholakala ngivalo usesekwentekeni uthi ndizibakala so usepitolo lokuthiwa ngoba bekulaphi.
Sivamile kubhadala ngale kufuna kubukela ngale ezemaswati Eswatini TV sikhashane kanganani in creating our own content singadzingi simaswati kuphuma size siyofuna lokumnanzi kwangephandle.
Kunomthetho losuphumile losoprotecta i-data maneke angati ukuthi kuloko ikhona indlela yokumonitor naba labakoleka i-data. Siba nema users noma ema service providers lamanenge latithathela nje i-data atisebenzisele ingahlangani nahulumende siyathi ukuthi litiko ngilo lelinale responsibility yokwazi ngibani lithatha i-data ikakhulu i-data le-private nale-confidential emaswati.
The Honourable Minister then responded to the debate.
What we are trying to achieve is government in your hand. So that all the Maswati and my smartphones are interfacing nahulumende through ucingo lwabo. Uthi labo labanganato izincingo ekuthiwa ama-smartphones bakwazi ukuthi baye enkundleni noma other areas lapho sitawu-arrange ukuthi sibe nama-relationships khona. The issue of data protection is very important. Vele, as you have seen, ukuthi nama-programs ekufundisa abantu ngokuthi how do they protect their own data ngoba lento leyo more than anything responsibility yamuntu nathi singasimfinisele ukuthi kwenziwa kanjani. Indzaba yaka-multi-choice ngingayikhuluma nje in 2 minutes, 2 seconds, ukuthi vele it is a bit of a challenge for us ngoba vele lokuthi babe la we can access their programs more than anything. It does affect TV yakithi. But nathi funa siphakamise amasokisi sithole ama-programs angathi are exciting and relevant for all ages. Lokuhlupha Honourable Chair ukuthi senikhulume kanene yemali incane. Lesifuna basikwende, it really will be requiring miracles. Dawudingakala vele ukuthi siphume from the borders alakhaya siyofuna ihlobo tasida because ngeke sifike ndawo ngale mali lekhona.
The Honourable Committee applauded the remarkable works of the Ministry of ICT, saying their budget needs to be reviewed. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Kusile Koza, Parliament.
The Honourable Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Manqoba Khumalo, says local trade is affected by poor quality of products, as well as the signing of exclusive agreements by producers and retailers. The minister was speaking during a launch of Tinkhundla Consumer Rights Awareness Campaign.
Speaking when launching the Tinkhundla Consumer Rights Campaign, the Honourable Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Manqoba Khumalo, said the campaign must also focus on the issue of exclusive agreements and quality.
Laba kwendaba ukuthi bayile kulaba labathengisako bathi mabafika mhlonishwa kulala abathengisako bathi lokhu mina kangwane ngicela senze isivumelano nawe ukuthi kangwane sekuyathengiswa ngemngethwa basayine what they call exclusivity agreements bese ke le timbo matifika la kangwane ukhanze ukuthi mhlambe timbo leti dzingekako ngikubonile lokhu kule pharmaceutical sector senguye kuphela lokhona ukuthi athenge lo muthi awulethe la kangwane ngiyacela ukuthi sisakusebenza lokho sibuke CEO Competition Commission nguyiphi imithetho lengavikela emaswati ngoba uma sitakuyekela nje singawendi lo mthetho kude ke emathulusi lesingaba nawo ukuthi sesithi wena wekunene siyakuva unelungelo lokwenda le exclusivity agreement but itsine umthetho wethu ukuthi umuntu lowende lokho mhlawumbe sitabomchaja imali lengaka.
The Honourable Minister of Tinkhundla Sikhumbuzo Dlamini said this campaign is important for the development of Tinkhundla.
Litiko Tinkhundla ke ndifuna lihloniphekile asisho lokuthi vele libheke lokukhulu kakhulu kulomsebenzi lokucala kwenza isivele lapho khona kuyafundiswa khona lamaswati lephase etinkhundleni kuyenda kona ama campaigns la ekutheni labantu bathi lo ukuthi kufanele ukuthi bagadze ini kakhulu lephase emakhaya bonke labantu abatawuzuza.
The Eswatini Competition Commission CEO Muzi Dlamini also made his remarks.
The launch today of Tinkhundla Awareness Campaign further offers the Competition Commission and the Ombudsman of Financial Services an opportunity to collaborate towards empowering eMaswati from our communities with information relating to our mandates, powers and functions related to the protection of consumer rights.
The Ombudsman of the Office of the Ombudsman for Financial Services, Nondumiso Similani, said this campaign is also important to the Office of the Ombudsman.
Our office, as the Office of the Ombudsman of Financial Services, has a relationship with Eswatini Competition Commission through a memorandum of association, which has actually seen meaningful engagements through our partnership being a success and engaging the consumer in a holistic approach.
The campaign will be conducted in 4 constituencies. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Suekoza, Babane.
The Minister for Education and Training, Honourable Owen Nxumalo, says technology helps students gain valuable digital literacy skills and allowing them to excel in their studies, pursue future careers, as well as become active participants in the ever-growing digital society. The minister said this on Monday when receiving 1.9 million emalangeni from the Japanese government, which is going to be used to construct computer labs at Meta Dolorosa as well as Kusile High School.
Extending his heartfelt gratitude to the government of Japan, the Minister of Education and Training said this initiative will prepare students for the world of work and industry ready as the digital skills they acquire will make them highly sought after graduates, ready to contribute meaningfully to the Eswatini economy.
BaseJapani basiniketa imali lengange etimbili 1.9 million yokwakha ema-computer labs esikoleni sasemkhuzweni naseMeta Dolorosa. Lokho siyakubonga kakhulu, siyathemba ukuthi tikolwa titawaphatha kahle lama lab noma phela atawusita ebantfaneni kubafundzisa kuze kuthi nabo likusasa labo libe ngelikahle kuleti tebuchwephesha.
The Japanese ambassador in Eswatini, Osho Shigeru, says the government of Japan reassures its commitment to continue providing assistance to the government of Eswatini, where he highlighted that education is a basic human right and a powerful tool to eradicate poverty.
The government of Japan reassured its commitment to continue providing assistance to the Kingdom of Eswatini through the grant assistance for grassroots human security. Perhaps for the future implementation of the project such as the ones we are witnessing today.
This is the 52nd year of Japan-Eswatini diplomatic relations. Since then, the government of Japan has assisted more than 60 projects that have been implemented throughout the country, including 16 high schools. For Eswatini TV News, Mpendulo Kumbi, Mbabane.
Classes had to be halted at Bulunga Primary School on Monday after parents called for the removal of the head teacher. And according to the parents, a lot is not going well in the school, including the school's academic performance.
The parents stormed into the school and halted classes on Monday morning and protested, displaying their grievances. The grievances are mainly directed to the head teacher. Amongst other grievances, the parents say grass hasn't been cut and that exposes the learners to snakes, amongst other things. They say the school's performance has dropped, no parents' meetings to mention, amongst a few. When the news crew arrived, the head teacher had locked himself inside his house for safety purposes from the angry parents. But the Kametse, an employee at the school, has her own grievances.
Na 2 years angiholi ngile kalabor eMahlandla.
I haven't been paid for the past 2 years. Unfortunately, I did not receive any explanation. As a result, I'm struggling financially. I've been to the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, but to no luck. He's not cooperating, and that is my problem. The kitchen is also a mess. I have reported that, but he doesn't take action.
The parents say they need answers. Actually, he should be removed. They say the school committee is not working hand in hand with their parents, and that is their major concern. They say the school's performance academically worries them. Unfortunately, no parents' meeting has been held to explain reasons behind. Police officers came to monitor the situation and restore order. The parents told them that they are not violent, they just want the head teacher gone. A lot is not going well, according to the parents. The school's principal, Michael Dlamini, answered some of the parents' grievances.
Minister uhesha lala sesha khona because naleti ndleko siyatibuka kusekutingakanani sitawuhesha nang umuthi.
The police then asked that the learners be released while sorting the situation. The Manzini REO Sizogunene had already sent a team to the school. He said he will be awaiting feedback from the team for a full report. For Eswatini TV News, I am Kian Msibi, Kubulunga.
The Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Honorable Manqoba Khumalo, says they have ensured that some industries are protected as Eswatini gears towards trading in the AfCFTA, also known as the African Continental Free Trade Area. Now, the minister was responding to a question on what would happen to infant industries as there is a possibility of commodities influx, as this agreement means opening of borders in the African countries.
There are certain protections that we have signed up for. Right now, it's only about 90% of our products that are up for free trade in the continent. We've protected certain industries. For example, sugar. Imports in sugar will still remain controlled, and a few other, products of that nature where we believe jobs will be lost and businesses might be lost if we open up those industries.
The minister has also said all countries will trade in their currencies under the agreement.
One of the protocols that has been signed as part of the AfCFTA is a common trading platform where each country can trade in their own currency, and in that platform it gets converted into whatever currency that the other stakeholder is operating in, but it interfaces between countries without you feeling it. So we will trade in our normal currency.
Business Eswatini has said they will work closely with the Ministry of Commerce to find ways around how businesses will deal with the extremely volatile and unstable currencies in the African continent. For Eswatini TV News, Nalswen Dlangamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Ezulwini.
All right, let's bring focus now on some of the international news that are topical. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the Israeli troops would pursue a planned ground offensive in southern Gaza's Rafah that has rather spurred fears of mass civilian casualties. There's a report.
Despite international calls to refrain from launching a ground offensive in Rafah in southern Gaza, Benjamin Netanyahu has reiterated his determination to press ahead with the plan.
I say it again, we will operate in Rafah. It will take a few weeks, and it will happen.
Some 1.5 million Palestinians have sought refuge in Rafah, which is situated on the border with Egypt. Many are living in tents and makeshift housing in dire humanitarian conditions.
We have no other option but to come to the charity. We're from Gaza City. We have no money and we're living in tents. The charity is providing us with food.
Netanyahu said Israel would not leave civilians trapped in the area when the army launches its assault.
Our goal in eliminating the remaining terrorist battalions in Rafah goes hand in hand with enabling the civilian population to leave Rafah. It's not something that we will do while keeping the population locked in place.
Netanyahu's office says there are several Hamas battalions in Rafah and that Israel would need to send in troops to complete its goal of eliminating the organisation. The plan has come under heavy criticism from the international community, with the UN warning that a large-scale assault in the city could be disastrous. The President of the European Commission has also expressed concern about the planned ground invasion and has called for a rapid agreement on a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas conflict.
Israel's military called on Gazans to evacuate the area in and around Al-Shifa Hospital, which is the enclave's largest hospital, as battles raged at the complex front with patients and displaced people. Now, the Israeli army announced an operation that was underway at the hospital, saying that it was being used by senior Hamas militants.
Israel's military says these aerial pictures show shots being fired at Israeli soldiers from inside the Al-Shifa hospital, which is once again at the center of an Israeli military operation.
The IDF is conducting a high-precision operation in limited areas of Shifa Hospital, following concrete intelligence that demanded immediate action. We know that senior Hamas terrorists have regrouped inside the Shifa Hospital.
Eyewitnesses said Israeli forces, backed by tanks and artillery, had surrounded and raided a number of the buildings of the medical complex, which is crowded with tens of thousands of displaced people, as well as patients and medical staff, according to Gaza's health ministry. Palestinian outgoing Prime Minister Mohammed Shtayyeh addressed the raid during a cabinet meeting.
This is a plea to humanity on Gaza and the struggles of people in Gaza, to the world leaders. How long will you remain motionless on the side of Israel, the criminal state?
The Israeli army had previously raided Al-Shifa in mid-November before withdrawing. As it began its dawn incursion Monday, it published what it claimed was a conversation between an Israeli official and the director of the Gaza Health Ministry.
من وقود ومواد غذاء ومواد طبية وأدوية وقف فوري أي نشاط عسكري من المستشفيات زي ما شفنا في خان يونس.
Hamas and hospital representatives deny Israeli accusations that Al-Shifa is a base for Hamas fighters. It's one of the few hospitals still partially operating in the north of the Gaza Strip, where hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are struggling to survive in dire humanitarian conditions.
Gangsters attacked two upscale neighborhoods in Haiti's capital early on Monday in a rampage that left at least 8,000 people dead in surrounding areas.
Collective grief and fear have overwhelmed Pétionville on the outskirts of Port-au-Prince. Several lifeless bodies were found in the streets on Monday after the neighbourhood came under attack.
These victims were people who were just looking to feed their children in the evening before going home. They're the ones who come home late. Among them, there are public transport drivers who have left more than 5 children behind. I recognize some of them.
While the details of what took place are still unclear, many locals say that armed bandits had been spreading terror in the area since the morning.
Last night, around 11 p.m., as we were sitting here, two young boys suddenly appeared and opened fire on our brothers. They didn't address anyone. They just came up and started shooting.
It's one of the latest incidents in the ongoing political and humanitarian crisis that is raging in Haiti, after a recent surge in gang violence plunged the nation into chaos. According to UNICEF, Haitians trapped by violence are suffering from famine and malnutrition, and humanitarian aid is hard to deliver. At an emergency meeting last week, representatives from the UN, United States and the Caribbean, among others, created a blueprint for Haitians to form a transitional authority, which would govern the country until elections can be held. They hope the authority will lead the country out of crisis, but humanitarian groups fear it is sliding towards civil war.
And on sports news, Eswatini Motorsports President Eugene DuPont is pleading with Eswatini who love the sports to join them. He says that they want to produce players who will represent the kingdom in global competition. DuPont was speaking to Eswatini TV Sports at Edwaleni this past weekend, where there was the association's national championship this past weekend. Well, that's it for our English news of this morning. Stay with us. We still have 30 minutes of interview with the Eswatini Investment Promotion Authority. We do have the External Trade Manager, Siboniso Mnisi, rather, pardon me there, who is not alone. I think he's with some of the winners from the Exporter Awards.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 76222000 or dial *007 *3 *7#, or you can use Eswatini Imali. And you can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any NetBank branch using our TV license account number 119900430037. Don't forget, when paying for your viewer's TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba research bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna sende ukukhicita lokhu sekungeni.
Bokose siyaqhubana lo ngehlelo namhla ekseni nasenza kulela umsakazo wakho ngomsakazo Tithombe Eswatini TV sehlelweni Kusile Breakfast Show. Kuthi-ke mhla ka-15 nangaphosisi kuyo lesetulo libandla libukeke kukhanga abahlengela itimali eSwatini ekuthi nje livule amathuba ekuthenini bosomabhizinisi bakuleli bathengise imikhiqizo yabo ngaphandle kwakuleli ipa yabamba-ke umsebenzi ngekubanjiswa tinintelive kufaka ikhasi bo-USAID lesisinge Eswatini Annual Export Awards. Sinaye-ke lobukeke external trade lapha ka-IPA babemnisi bonkosi namhla ekuseni sathola nje isithombe sekumcoka balo msebenzi lona nekuthi ngabe vele live selihambe kanganani nizamente ukuthi lokukhiqizwa eSwatini kuphume kwetimakethe temhlaba. Mvulane angikuvusele ngikwamukele ehlelweni namhla ekuseni ingabe kulisita ngani live kugcugcutela tinkampani letikhona eSwatini nabosomabhizinisi ukuthi basakhiqida libe liso lingekho eSwatini litotonke etimakethe letikhona emhlabeni.
Ya ngiyabonga sivusele babukele emakhaya no uteka yona vele silive njengoba nje sihlala siveta nakulo msebenzi nje walama exporters awards la khona besihlomelisa labo labende kahle enzabente ukuthi bathengisele kulamanye amave lengephandle besiveta kona lokuthi kuyafuna vele ukuthi silive sibuke ngephandle ngoba indvuna nje lobe kakhulumela indvuna waveta lokuthi na ukhumbula nje nenkulumo yengwenyama eParliament speech from the throne kwavela lokuthi kufuna lokuthi silive vele sibuke timakethe tangephandle sitama lokuthi sibosoma business sibe netindlela tokuthi yebo kona uqala la khaya uthengisa kepha ke yenaba ubukele ngephandle uphinze ubuke nje nana indzaba naye Africa Continental lebe bayilauncha nini nayo ikhulumisa lendzaba ukuthi yebo kona eAfrica sikhona silive kepha ka sesichubeke senyuke siyele eNorth nabo West Africa siphinze sithengisele khona so kuyalisita kakhulu live njengoba nje sikhuluma ukuthi sikubo 31 billion lokho kubuya kuma foreign earnings elive kanzi ke futhi nawe ungisoma business kuyakusita phela ekutheni uyakhona lokuthi lengephandle na lethe kuthengisela kuba naletinye inkampani bonsondo nzima lo dibala nawo labaqhamuka kulamanye emava so ke na ukhona ke ukuthi ukhona ukukhompyutha lezi inkampani nawe kuyakwenda ukuthi ube sezingeni lelisetulu ukhanze ukuthi nawe sowusebenzisa nema systems la ngathi anconywana ngoba phela lama requirements na uthengisela lengephandle baye bakufuna nje into letifana nabo global gap asengibekise lokhanza ukuthi ngisoma business wala khaya uteleto dingo leto maybe atitsingakala so kuyasita kakhulu so ke kulomsebenzi lebesinawo njengoba nje uveta lokuthi besinebaka sibanjiswe baka USAID Africa Trade and Investment Southern Africa Buying Activity besibuka nje export excellence sithi asesihlomelise nabake lebonakala ukuthi cha bayanangizana bahlabene phinze ke futhi sisebenzisa lo msebenzi ukuthi phela naloyo lobukayo ukuthi mhlambe lona liso lothi nami ngiyafuna kungena lapha akabone ukuthi kuyendeka ngoba bekuwina bosomabhizinisi nje nanganaka labanengi sibe nabo be-handicraft from Manzini Market, you know, bomake, ne-youth and all of that. So we're just saying ukuthi kuyendeka, it's possible.
Ngiyafuna nekuthola sitalithola thuba bongosi khona namhlanje kusene sixoxisane nabo bakashukela kuseleni ngabe yini le bayendako ukuze sibabe consistent kuloku exporter kwabo but nje ke tinkampani ngiyatibona phela difanana angibekise nje Montic ngihambisa probably timber most of the time shukela vele uhambisa shukela kwanza sinaleli nani ke lemathana ngakhuluma kanjalo lokuphuma ngaphandle akufanani yini lefike nikubukeke nithi no le award lena the best exporter 2023 akube ngeSwatini Sugar Association.
Yes. No asicale nje ngalokusho ukuthi vele sidamna lokuthi sibe nale independent adjudication panel letakubuka lokushoko beyibuka ke tindzabeni ukuthi ngoba mhlambe nangabiyele emva kancane eminyakeni lephelile bokhanza kusilama awards abuke iAmerica ne South Africa abuka ke America ngoba vele sisebenza phela netinini tethu taseAmerica sibuka ke lokusebenzisa lo AGOA which is the Africa Growth Opportunity Act lokuthi sithengisele even laseAmerica kepha ke bese siyabuka phela ukuthi uhulumende uhambe embili wavula market nayi Africa nje lesikhuluma ngayo lebe siyilonja nini wadvula ka EU wadivula eAsia kakhulu eTaiwan nalamanye ke emave la ukhanza ukuthi mhlawumbe thina besingakawafaki lama categories. So lapho sibuka lokuthi nawo ngisomabhizinisi, one sibuka nje ukuthi vele business ine exporter nesikhathi lesinganani over 5 years sibuke lokho, bese ke sesibuka leli zinga lakho lokuthi usebenzise nat market letivulwe nguhulumende. Ngoba mhlawumbe lengakuveta msakathi lokunye nje kulokuthi singu Eswatini Investment Promotion Authority sine siyakhona lokubuka nangu ngathi trade flow lokho ukuthi timbahla nje namhla tiphumile tiya kuphi, tiya e-UK. Ngibona lokho ukuthi okay nathi fika e-UK titanani tiphethe le passport le lekhokhwa nguhulumende lokuthi nathi ngale passport le angeke tibhadale. Lesikubonile ke sikhanze ukuthi labanye abosomabhizinisi abayifuna le passport bavele bahambise. So nakafika lembili ukhanze ukuthi sowuthola ama duties lasedulu kanzi lo muntu bekade awuseva kube bekaphethe le passport. So ke sibuka kakhulu ke letindzaba ukuthi uyawasebenzisa indlela leti market, bese ke sesibuka nekokuthi nawukhiqida ngoba nawukhiqida kufuna ube nanakulethi ngema inputs le raw material angibekise nje bakashukela nje lesikhuluma ngabo bona vele konke labakwendako kulinywe lakhaya, but leminye imikhiqido ukhanza ukuthi angibekise nje ka textile le fabric leliyadi kufuna silingenise. Yabona sibuka ukuthi na ungenisa uthatha kuphi kubo Asia noma ungena la Africa bese ke suya process sibuke nje into leti kanjalo nalokunye ke lokufaka ekhathi tindzaba tabo corporate social responsibility and all of that. So besibuka lokho nje lelinani nalo liyangeda lokho kuthambisa lokunganani mhlawumbe ngiko nje ukhanza ukuthi vele labo nsonto nzima bahambe embili, but ke bese bayangena ke nalabanye bosomabhizinisi in terms of now lokho lesengufakile.
Prime Minister is currently in Taiwan. Ngiyakhumbula singa 2018 live naso lezivumelwano economic cooperative agreement. Sesi maximize kanganani probably to ensure ukuthi lama opportunities laqhamuka nalo agreement leyo emaswati ayawasebenzisa sibe.
I will say that's probably a young agreement that we have lengicabanga njengoba usho nje 2018.
Yeah.
Sizamile ngoba bekaveta nje CEO kulama awards ukuthi nasicala before 2018 basic below 5 million sambisa i-citrus kuphela.
Okay.
But ke fast forward to 2022 says over 100 million. And let nombolo lengakusho ukuthi betingaba more because le interest ikhona. Sengilokho ukuthi nje ukhanza ke ukuthi phela seyisemkhathini walolo thenga kunalolo thengisako nathi sengihulumende asangena sekufuna kuvunyelwana ke ndzabeni tema quantities the price nawo konke lokho ukhanze ukuthi mhlawumbe labanye bathi no asesime kwanyalo sitawubona eminyakeni lodawo. So uma sibuka thina sikhanza ukuthi cha kusebendekile kepha nje solo siyasho lokho ukuthi silive singenisa lokhu ngedulu kwa 200 million lesikulanze Taiwan sambisa 100 million lokusho ukuthi sisena kulesi trade deficit. I-target kungaba ukuthi sihambise more ngoba phela thina sinale free trade agreement lokusho ukuthi okungena le Taiwan lokuqhamuka kithi kungena ngemanani laphasi than what bona they are bringing in. So yeah, we are doing very well and nalama activities lesinawo nje just now nga-April sidabe sihambisa tingabhana letingu 9 ku handicraft nanga June sihambise 10 ku food and beverages solo sidama kuvula ukuthi bangene babe banengi bathengise.
In closing, Minister, ngifuna nekusistep into the Asian market. Ngiyabuka nje ukuthi when you look at the Asian countries, ayaphakama nawo. They want to be global superpowers. And dikhona market nakhona kunemavela abonsonto nzima nakhona lapha. Kepha ke ngibuka lo ukuthi ba staunch ku religion. Ngiyafuna ukuthola ukuthi ngoba ngiyakhumbula le ya webinar nami ngake ngayilalela la benivetela khona kusipho business nanti into lekhune tinakwe lapho ukuthi kutaba lula kanganani mhlambe to tap into the Asian market na ubuka lo ukuthi there are Islamic countries 20% of the world population baqhamuka lapho ukuthi kutaba lula kanganani vele bosomabhizinisi bethu with the Christian background lesinayo nanathi kungena kule market le.
No, I think that's a good question. Ngoba vele siyibukile lenzaba shows nje basically we're talking at halal products.
Yeah.
Lama products that as you are saying are exported to predominantly Muslim dominated, communities in Asia and also Middle East. Now the business in in fact some of our exporters, I think bayafika kubo over 5 bayendlula. They are already halal certified.
Okay.
Ngoba they are seeing kune opportunity, as you are saying, they account for 20% of the world population. In fact, if you go to the EU as well, we are go Germany, you will find you now find mostly communities that are now going for halal products because kukhona leli bakubona kungathi kuyabasita endzabeni tempilo and all of that. So vele siyaba encourage lokho ukuthi they should be halal certified, halal compliant. Akusiko lokunengi, it's how you do the product and how you do that. And in terms of your religion, ngiyabona ukuthi mhlawumbe uyifake ebhizinisini naze sifika ebhizinisini vele kuyehluka ngoba phela it's le buyer njengoba nje exported to USA to EU le buyer it's ema requirements ami arts
nothing to do with ukholwa kwakho.
Yeah, wena nangabe ufuna le business ngicela ukuthi ungendele na ube halal certified. Lesi kujabulela ukuthi nje we have a halal association le site for anathi kule webinar lokukhuluma ngayo in Eswatini lesta ukhuluma nawe ukuthi assessment sibone ukuthi siqinisana njani ukuthi ube halal compliant and ube recognized internationally. Dito khona ke ngapana tethu nathi ufuna kuba halal certified ditela kuwe. Siyajabula lokuthi labanye vele sebangenile lapho and they are seeing the opportunity.
Bokosibe sinamba beminisi uqhamuka lapha ka eBasiti kanje indzaba bosoma business bakithi 7 ekuthenini imikhiqizo yabo iphuma phela eSwatini iyeke nasemarket emhlaba. Minister Commerce ngikhumbula kahle ngalo 2018 6 November la ngaphosisi nabaqedza kufunga wateka indzabe ukuthi le live kufanele libe kunake kuthiwa i-export driven economy. Siyabonga kakhulu babe mnisi ukuthi ube nasi namhlanje ekuseni because sister ufuna ngisikhulume nebaka Sugar Association ehamba ukhona CEO banele Nyamane staff lo singabe yindlela bakwenda kubona lo lokubenda ukuthi bachubeke bawuphakamise umjeka yawe live kutsengisene emarket emhlaba.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 76222000 or dial *007 *3 *7#, or you can use Eswatini Imali. And you can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any NetBank branch using our TV license account number 119900430037. Don't forget, when paying for your viewer's TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
It's 11 minutes before 8. Siyakwemukela nasanza kulela msakazi wakho siteka nje ndzaba sibuka the business kakhulukazi nanhlangosi lebo somabhizinisi laba thengisa imikhiqizo yabo ngaphandle kwakuleli siyilandzela ke lapha eSwatini annual export awards la inkampani yashukela ihlabene bonkosi yawuthola ke leyo mhlomelo ukuthi ke kube inkampani ngiyo lebonakala kwangazuthi yathengisa impela idlala sina CEO babe Nyamane namhla kusena sivusele babe Nyamane yini leleni kwenta kangcono eSugar Society Association lokunende na recognize ukutheni no you deserve this award.
Siyabonga simvusele nembukeli emakhaya siyinhlangano ya Sugar Association umgomo wethu noma imandate siniketwele ukuthi wonke shukela lokhicitwa lapha eSwatini sikhona kumthengisa sithole inzunzo le Kusile for emalunga ethu sekuyiminyaka ke vele sisebenza lo msebenzi wokukhicita shukela phinde futhi simthumele emaveni lokusende sawina ngiloko ukuthi sineti-70 leti tinikele le busuku nemini tibuka tindlela netimakethe letikhona emhlabeni wonke lesingakhona kufika kuto sithengise sithole inzuzo le Kusile for emalunga ethu enhlangano yashukela.
We are not the only country le producer shukela imthengise mhlambe etinye market ni khona njani ni Sugar Association ukuthi ngoba ngisethe nami nansi ngiyahlola kwabonakala kushukela waseSwatini vele ufike naset market emhlaba bonakala ukuthi nguyena le bamhambisa imbili yini leni kwendako to ensure ukuthi even big countries your Brazil and other countries balandzele ngemuva baseSwatini.
Uyibeka kahle na uthi kunemavela afana nabo Brazil lengeke sikhone ukuchuthelana nawo ngeprice ngoba vele bona bakhicita lokunengi kakhulu kunathi strategy sethu lesikhetha seSwatini ukuthi sitawu producer lo shukela lo equality lo ehlukile kunalona lo producerwa ngilabanye bese ke futhi noma siya leti market siyawakhetha lama customer ethu asiki noma ngabe ngibani incumbi yalama customer ethu leswa supply yako ngilaba lokhanza ukuthi nabo sebakhicita into letufana nekudla na utawukhicita ke info lekudla uyacilikela nawe lokho ukuthi lo lama ingredients akho lo wathenga ulafaka ekhathi lo shukela akhicitwe njani asezingeni indle setulo so nguloko lokusenda ukuthi sisehluke kulaba labanye labathengisa kuleti market.
Besiteka indzaba yase Taiwan la namnisi njengoba nandunankulu nje ase Taiwan. I'm not sure if Taiwan is one of your target markets.
Kuphambilini bekungasiyo imarket lesifika kuyo eTaiwan kodwa ke kulamalanga kunema container lasendleleni labheke khona eTaiwan nakhona sesicalele kuyiphendla le market njengalo kungishido okuqala ukuthi live la seTaiwan isikholelwa ukuthi nalo lithenga shukela eBrazil so sibe sisoloke sidiniketa isikhathi lokuthi sidadishe kahle le market lokuthi nasingena sidade hlukanisa njani kunalaba labanye labavele beba supplier kule market.
Siyanibona Sugar Association angabalambi kwethu CEO but ngale ngemuva ngiyaduye ukuthi kunemaswatla amaningi lenisebenza nawo ingabe ezinichubeka nithola le recognition nichubeka nelive nifaka sandla lesibandi ku-GDP yelive lamaswatla la ngemva kwenu mhlawumbe lesingaboni thina nasitetinani impilo yawo yaguquka yini
sinonkolelo lenkulu ukuthi siyakhona kubatholela inzuzo legucula letimpilo tabo kulomnyaka nje nakuhambe kahle yebo kona lo mkhicido ngemanani emathani wehlile kakhulu kodwa leti inzuzo lesikhona letithola le market siyakholelwa ukuthi ditaba ngileto leti besetulu kakhulu solo yaba khona noma le industry yashukela lokho vele ku benefit lamalunga ethu lafaka ekhathi lamaswati lamanengi la khona kulomkhicido washukela
ingonyama emhlaba nayivula iParliament CEO iteka nenzaba yokuthi live alibuke phela kusitindwe lesihambisako sibole is at the evil good ngiyathi usimende chain ukuhambisa shukela but probably you can have a voice itsabente value addition in this ukuthi ingabe nanibuka nani inhlangano yashukela what is it that we need to do as a country to ensure ukuthi whatever we produce akuhambi nje kunjalo probably singakhana lokunye lesingakuhambisa even
kusho ukuthi eminyakeni lesihlanu lendlulile shukela lebese mhambisa usathinga ukuthi uyohludwa lengeshare bomningi kakhulu kodwa ke inhlangano yakhona kufaka imali enga 100 million yekwakha ingungu lapha khona sitawukhona ukuthi sale sakha lo shukela lo tawusina uphuma la ufikele ama-customeni vele sayowudla which is a final product. Yebo-ke kona sinaso lesifiso lesekuthi mhlawumbe tinolethi kufaka ekhathi emaswidi nani kwanze lokwakhiwa kola kangwane kodwa-ke kukhona vele le role lesiyidlalako ngicabanga ukuthi uyati nembukeli uyati ukuthi kunetinkampani letikhona la kangwane letakha emaswidi siyatisekela futhi-ke nanoma ngabe ngibani liswati lelifuna kungena emkhicitweni lotawu-eda ivelu kunetinhlelo lesinato lokuthi sibendele ukuthi kube malula lokuthi bawucale lo msebenzi wabo.
Bose ngo-CEO aka-Sugar Association batholeke umhlomelo ekuthenini bakhona kuchubeka nekuthengisa shukela ivele bayothengiseleke emakethe letikhona emhlabeni sanihadalisela CEO ngale ndondolo nitholile sesaba losindawo uchubeka niphakamise umjeka walive kuneshisekelo kakhulu nako ngilabamfu labangale ngemuva ekuthenini impilo yabo ichubeke guquke and we can see usilive nawe yanje libonjeni kunema associations lamaningi impilo iyashintsha. Congratulations and our CEO. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Siyabonga kakhulu. Sibonga nembukela emakhaya.
Bokose sibathola isimakethe nasibuya na 12 siyalephesa kehlelo lomhlekisene. If you've just joined us, you have missed on a lot. Njengoba sicetha khuluma nebakashukela nje na. This is the Tuesday edition of Kusile Breakfast Show.
Ngokusela nje 3 minutes kuthi kubumbane insimbi yesiphohlongo lomhlo ekseni. LinkedIn, it is Tuesday the 19th of March. Siyabona ngathi imisebenzi yentuthuko ibukeka imihle kakhulu. Mawubuka nje imisebenzi yashukela nje live la kangwane encenye without singling a company. Nakuthiwa nje shukela ngiswazi gold. Ubonelwe ukuthi solo kuba yahlabana nakuma exporters awards, meaning the revenue labayilethako lapha ekhaya nje nasekubalwa nabo GDP, they contribute probably the largest share, and lokho vele kufuna kushaya.
And tinhlangano leti affiliate ku Sugar Association sifiso njengoba ngibekisa nje ngelibombo nathi uyabuka tiningi tinhlangano leti lima shukela lokho ke nakaho leti sekukhona sokungenile nakhona shukela impilo iyaguquka ngoba inkosi sithe akuguqule lempilo yamaswati le emaphandleni lela sikhona khona.
And it's beautiful ngoba sike nje sakhuluma na managing director ka FinCorp uyasichazalwe ukuthi billions imali labathi dispersile leti chaswe ema sugar cane farmers that are SMEs. Uyabona ukuthi nangabe shukela une potential akasine potential, so kune empirical evidence ukuthi unenzuzo lengaka. Yini singa bese simotivator emaswati la khona lamancane ukuthi nanawo angayitfola leyo nzuzo ngithi thukthuk dawo. It's quite beautiful.
Nembala bongo se resibini the Tuesday edition of Kusile Breakfast Show. Ngemvuma lomsala wethu insuku sitawubonana ke ehlelweni elangeni la kusasa. Imini ayibe yinhle nisale kahle kwalomuhle.
whiter than snow, deeper than the ocean, wider than the sea.